Hey guys, welcome back to the Group Project podcast. This is episode number 104, which is called Get Fit at Any Age. And this is actually following up on a blog post I had last week of the same name, which was Get Fit at Any Age. That was one of my favorite posts I've ever written, quite honestly. I emptied out my entire playbook in terms of what I've learned in terms of dieting and also working out. And I'm just felt compelled to come in and quickly kind of recap that, just give you a little bit more details or context to what I shared. And just again to add more to that post. So if you haven't joined us before, this is the Group Project podcast. We always try to, it's about lifelong learning and trying to cover some topics in the areas of leadership, education, and personal growth. And I really am passionate about this area because I think working out, staying fit is the key to success, and especially in a profession such as educational leadership or education, where you really need every advantage you can have because it takes a tremendous amount of energy. Again, I'm such a big believer in fitness, and I quite honestly, I see a lot of people in schools and education where this aspect of their life is lacking. So I feel compelled and I feel just excited and motivated to share this information. So let me just get into it here. Again, the blog post, you can go and read it. It's a very long post. It's like a 20-minute long post, which is like 20 pages worth basically. But yeah, like I said, I empty out, I give you all the information that I can, that was like just kind of bouncing around in my head, and I try to put it into writing for all of you to be able to follow. So let's and I start off with it. I've got the pages in front of me here, and I'm just going to kind of like highlight. I'm just going to flip over and kind of highlight a few areas, but this post and everything I share, you could spend I could spend all kinds of time like going really deep into the details of working out specifically, and then also some dieting things. It just takes too long to give the basics. So what I mentioned at the start of this is really maybe like an intermediate. These are intermediate ideas. These are not easy ideas, and you have to have some sort of basic understanding of dieting and working out to really understand and embrace these ideas. So keep that in mind. I did give 3 book suggestions, 3 of my favorite books, and I've read quite a few, not dozens and dozens of books in this field, but I've read, quite a few, maybe 20 to 25, 30 books that are kind of in this fitness and dieting area. And my 3 that I suggested that you want to start off with are these 3. Number 1 would be Eat Smarter by Sean Stevenson. Awesome book. It's got so many thoughts about eating, about recent research on eating and how it connects to physical fitness and your health. The second is Thinner This Year by Chris Crowley and Jennifer Sacek. Again, just gives you some really good, and that book kind of merges the reason I listed these in this order, this is the second one, is because this merges eating with working out. Thinner This Year does. And there's a whole series of Thinner Next Year books or Younger This Year books that I would ask you to check out. They're pretty good stuff. The third one is Bigger, Leaner, Stronger for men, or Thinner, Leaner, Stronger for women by Michael Matthews. Full transparency, I have not read Thinner, Leaner, Stronger by Michael Matthews yet. It's more focused for women, but I really enjoyed Bigger, Leaner, Stronger, if I could say that right. And there's just so many good ideas in there, and I love his philosophies. So check out those 3 books if you're looking for a few great books to check out on this topic. Okay, so the first thing I talk about I just jump right into it, and we talk about dieting first. And if you really want to get in great shape, and getting ripped or getting shredded, whatever you want to call it, there's a lot of those kind of fun terms to throw around, but you can't possibly get in great shape. I mean, when I say great shape, I mean like top 5%, top 3%, top 1% in terms of, body fat percentage. I mean, we're really talking advanced things here, but you've got to have a healthy diet. You can work out like crazy and put in all kinds of time at the gym or running or biking, whatever. But if you're not dieting as well, I'm telling you, it's impossible to get to the top of your game. You can do pretty good. You can probably be in the top 10%. Again, I'm throwing around just some ideas here. When I say top 10%, I'm like, in good shape, like, okay, he or she's in good shape. But if you really want to take it to the next level, you've got to have a great diet. And to me, everything I've read about having a great diet comes down to a calorie deficit diet. And I talk about this in the blog post and I take you through it. Basically, there's calculators out there where you can type in your age, your gender, your height, your weight, your activity level, and it will spit out like the number of calories that you can consume during a day. And once you get that number, that's your magic number. Okay. That is your magic number, that number that it spits out. For me, it's 3,200 calories, basically, is what I showed in the article. That's your magic number. If you go over that number, you will gain weight in terms of calorie consumption throughout the day. So if I have 3,200 calories per day to play with, and I'm consistently eating 4,000 calories a day, which is honestly not that hard to do. I cannot lose weight that way. Actually, I'm going to be gaining weight. It's impossible. However, if you know your number is 3,200 and you stay under that number consistently, and I shoot, what I explained in this article is I shoot for about 2,500 calories a day. I'll explain that a little bit more. Is when you're under your number, you will gradually, over time, it doesn't happen overnight, but over time, you will lose that weight. And you'll lose weight from the right areas, and you'll lose body fat, and you'll start to look better, and you'll start to feel better. So I explained that in the article, like I said, about this calorie deficit, which kind of gets a bad rap sometimes. And again, I'm just going to go off just on a tangent just for a second. There are some people out there who get very negative about calorie deficit and about dieting and about clean eating, because there are some mental health issues that do come around on this topic. So again, I always try to throw those caveats out there every time I write these articles, because I want to be very careful, because in education and educational leadership, we kind of got to be politically correct, and you got to kind of play both sides. So again, it's just one thing where I make sure, if you're having, even the calorie deficit diet's great, but if you are having mental health issues related to dieting, like, don't worry about this article. Get some help, first of all. Okay. Because it can start to mess with your head big time. So just a quick caveat. I wrote about it in there. I just want to make sure I am safe to, telling everybody, like, hey, if you've got mental health issues based around dieting and based around this calorie deficit, which some of you do, and some people have gone through those things, please get mental health help, and don't worry about what I'm going to share in this article. But once you get the idea of calorie deficit, then you'll want to find some way to track your calories. And what I indicated, in the best place, and again, these are just my ideas, talking to other people, researching, trying out some new ideas. The best place to track your calories is the MyFitnessPal app. And so the MyFitnessPal app it's a super popular app. It's obviously a phone app. And when you're eating your food, when you're eating foods, drinking calories, you dump it into your MyFitnessPal app, and it'll track your calories and a bunch of other statistics. But really, to me, it's just about calories. I don't really worry too much about macros. I don't even talk about macros in my article. I quite honestly focus on calories and protein. That's about it. And some people might say I'm wrong, but that's all I really focus on. Because there's just too much to consume. You can only spend so much time thinking about this stuff. So MyFitnessPal app is where I started. And at first, when I started dumping my numbers into MyFitnessPal, I thought I was eating pretty healthy. I was like, man, I can't do much better than I'm doing right now. But let's see how many calories are in there. So the first day I dumped in all my calories, and I was thinking I was maybe eating like 2,800 calories a day, 3,000 calories a day. No, I was way over. I was like 4,000 calories because I was just, I mean, I was eating spaghetti at night, a huge bowl of it. I was eating like garlic bread and I was having dessert. I thought they were healthier things. I guess looking back on it, it was very not very wise of me. And it really by tracking my calories and using my fitness pal, I really started to notice like how many empty calories, how many bad calories I was eating throughout the day. So to me, if you really want a great place to start with dieting, and a lot of people are wondering, like, what's the best diet? And it can get overwhelming. Just focus on your calories to start. Start tracking your calories, figure out what figure out your calorie target number. And again, I guess I didn't explain that. There's an article or there's a link in my blog that takes you to the Harris Benedict formula. I have found this to be the most accurate way of finding your calorie count. Once you've got that, start putting your stuff, your food into MyFitnessPal. Make sure you are consistently staying under your target calories and you will start to lose weight. You have my word. And of course, we want you working out too, right? So that's part of it, which we'll get to. But if you're working out and you're eating less calories than you consume, you will start to lose weight, feel better, and start to get more shredded, right? Okay. So the next section I get into is about the quality of food that you eat. So there's a lot of mixed opinions out there in terms of the quality of the food that you eat. So if you know you're doing it, so what that means is, so say your target is 3,000 calories and you're having 2,500 calories per day. There can be a very nutritious 2,500 calories a day. There can be a junk food 2,500 calories a day. And my question that I posed is, does it matter? And there's some people out there who say it doesn't matter. You're still going to lose weight. Now, you might lose weight, but you might not. You're not going to be building muscle, or you're not going to be getting the right nutrients that your body needs to really take advantage of. To really to put your body in that top 5%, top 1% shape. So what I talk about is really this rule about 80-20 rule. And I know there's this term out 80-20, this 80%, 20% is like huge in all aspects of life. And I can't remember exactly the name of it. It's like, I don't even want to say it. I think it's like the Pareto principle. I can't remember. I could be completely wrong, but there's a principle out there. That's the 80-20 principle, the 80-20 rule. So my 80-20 rule around eating is try to eat 80% of your food should be nutritious food, and 20% can be like prepackaged or processed food. So nutritious food would be like vegetables, fruits, meats, eggs, dairy, and 20% can be like processed food. Another way of looking at it is just like this: is 80% of your meals should be healthy, while 20% of your meals can be unhealthy. And I actually track this. Every day I track whether or not I had a healthy day or an unhealthy day, which are like my cheat days. And last year in 2021, I was 81% healthy days and 19% cheat days, which I have found to be about for every 5 days, 4 of those are healthy and one's an unhealthy day. Again, to me, that's a good rule to live by, because you can have those days where you can kind of let loose and eat whatever you want. So what I do is I actually give you a meal plan. It's the meal plan that I follow like Monday through Friday, like to a T at this point in my life. Now things might change. Things always change. I'm a single person. I can eat when I want for the most part. And I can control, I have optimal control over what I eat throughout the day. This might not be what I am able to do at all times, but for right now, this is what I'm able to do. So I lay this all out. It's like 3 pages here of my Monday through Friday, healthy diet plan. And it's a lot of stuff there. I'm not going to go into it right now. I'll say a couple things. First of all, there's so many pre-workouts out there. If you're okay, I'm going to go to advanced. I mean, this is a pre-workout is like an advanced thing. So if you work out, a lot of people take these supplements called pre-workouts. I'm not sure if they really are that great for you or not, but they blew into this, they just emerged into the scene like in the early 2000s, and they've been around ever since. And I like taking, it's called No Explode. I've actually got one right here in front of me. Ironically, I did not even know it was sitting here. And it's by BSN. It's in a red container. You put in a scoop. What I do is I put in a scoop of No Explode, and I mix it with a packet of Emergency. And I explained this in my article. Mix those two together, and it gives an amazing taste. I love the taste of it. And that's what I have for my pre-workout. But really, I have it in the morning. Like a lot of people have their coffee in the morning. I have my pre-workout in the morning to start my morning. Then after my workout, I will come home and have my breakfast smoothie. I think it tastes really good. The secret ingredient is the cinnamon crunch quest protein powder. So take a look at my blog. I explain it there. For lunch, I have an omelet, which I call the power lunch omelet. Good stuff with almonds and then with cottage cheese. I do another pre-workout afternoon workout drink. Even though I'm not working out at night, I work out in the morning. I'm still having another workout drink mid-afternoon to kind of wake me up. And then at night, I have the incredible egg sandwich. And again, I kind of lay that out for you, what the egg sandwich entails. And then after dinner, I always have at least one, if not two, protein smoothies. And again, I explained that in detail in my article. The secret on the protein smoothie is I switch over to cookies and cream Quest protein powder. To me, I've tried a lot of protein powders, and I feel like Quest is one of the tastiest ones out there. So that's kind of, and again, read through the article. It'll kind of explain what all those different things are. So my daily total is around 2,230 calories with 130 grams protein. And quite honestly, I shoot a little bit lower. My target is 3,200 calories a day, but I'm shooting for 2,500 because I want to keep losing a little bit more fat that I have. And I have a big cheat day on Saturdays, which kind of balances out the calorie deficit I have the rest of the week, if that makes sense. I would read the article to understand. So yeah, I talk about, Monday through Friday being too scripted. Honestly, a lot of us eat scripted foods, at least for breakfast and lunch most weeks. Nighttime can be a little bit different. I'm pretty scripted, but I explain how you can kind of mix that up at night and still be okay. How did you choose those foods? Almonds, blueberries, eggs, mushrooms, spinach, water. Those are all huge in my eating plans, and I explain that. Why do I choose those? All of those things are proven to help with curb appetite and to help burn fat faster with all those different items. So yeah, read the article, read through those things. I think it's a great diet plan for you to follow. Next, I talk about the cheat days. Okay. Cheat day are my Saturdays, and people who know me know that I love my cheat day Saturdays. So I eat healthy Monday through Friday for sure. And then Sunday, like pretty healthy, depending on what's going on, pretty healthy. But Saturday, especially Saturday night, is my night to like cheat, right? All my cravings, if you never cheat on your diets, like eventually you just start to go a little crazy. I know that's a strong word, but you start to like really crave good, just junk food, just all your favorites. So you've got to build in it time to cheat, your cheat days, right? So here's the thing is, So if you're really watching the scale, which a lot of people who are trying to cut, trying to lose fat and lose weight, they're focused on the scale. So one of the scariest things about cheat days is if I have a cheat night, Saturday night, and I'll explain that in a minute, but I'm eating all my favorite foods and I hop on the scale the next morning, yes, your weight's going to go up. It's going to go up by like 5, 6, maybe 7 pounds. And you're like, oh my gosh, I just gained 7 pounds and I lost all the work that I did for all those days. And it can kind of be defeating. What you don't realize is you really can't gain that much weight from a single cheat meal or even a cheat day. What the research says is if you have a crazy cheat meal and you eat just all kind, thousands of calories, the most you can gain is maybe a half a pound from one really bad meal. You just can't keep doing it time after time after time. You gotta have your one cheat meal or cheat day, and then the next day jump back on the wagon and go back to your healthy food. It is crazy. When you start eating healthy, you will start to really appreciate foods more. They will taste better when you're not eating sugar all the time. And I could talk for days about sugar, but when you eat sugar all the time, nothing else really tastes that good because you always want that sugar taste. But when you pretty much eliminate sugar, which I've done with my diet, then foods start to taste better. Foods that you didn't, it's just crazy. Those of you who have done this before, you guys know what I'm talking about. Foods taste better when you're not always eating sugar. But again, sometimes you just got to get that craving out of your system. For me, it's Saturday night. And I on Saturday nights, if I'm at home, I have gotten in a huge routine. And again, I look forward to this every week, but I kind of eat the same cheat meal and it just tastes so good. I'm looking at a picture of it right now. My cheat meal right now, my go-to cheat meal when I want to get all my cravings out is to order a pizza. And here in Iowa, we've got Casey's. That's one of the best places to get pizza from. There's also some local places. Shout out to Papa's Pizza here in Tama, Iowa. They've got some awesome pizza as well. I eat pizza, and then I've got Dot's Homestyle pretzels, which have like taken the United States by storm. They're so good. I get Dot's pretzels with original seasoning. I get peanut M&Ms. And I just get a ton of those and I eat those with my pizza and my Dots pretzels. I make some like cookies, some Toll House cookies. I make those. And I also finish off my meal with the Tonight Dough, which is Ben and Jerry's. If you've ever liked those Ben and Jerry's, like little pints, the Tonight Dough is so good. It is like the best combination of everything, of cookie dough, brownie dough, vanilla, chocolate, all that stuff. So good. And of course, I've got to have some pop with it. So I do Diet Pepsi because I feel like Diet Pepsi and Pepsi taste about the same. And I'm not getting like, at least I'm helping myself out there. So this cheat dinner, I estimate is about 4,000 calories, which sounds crazy, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But the cool thing is I can have my cheat meal Saturday night. And by the time, and yes, the next day I will have gained weight, but by midweek, assuming I get back on the routine of working out and eating right, I will have dropped that weight by midweek. So that, again, I'm going through this really quick, but that is just kind of a real quick summary of my diet. Now let's switch to working out. And in this article, again, I explain working out. I think it's huge. I look forward to it every day. I work out in the mornings and it just sets me up for the rest of that day so well. There's a lot of conflicting research on when your body starts to decay, which sounds really bad. But what I found is that maybe around 30 to 32 years old, your body does start to flip over to decaying, which means for every year, the rest of your life, you get weaker, your metabolism slows, and your body becomes less coordinated. However, you can fight aging as long as you are working out consistently. So again, I talk about getting a workout in every single day between 30 to 45 minutes. Usually I'm closer to about 45 minutes, but I really feel like you could even get a workout in for 30 minutes and still be fine. Now, a lot of school leaders who are listening will say, but I'm too busy. I've got a family. We've got long days. You know, yes, there you do have some long days in schools. I get that. I've also talked at length that really, you know, you shouldn't be working more than 50 hours for sure is the max that school leaders should be working. I get it. I get that you've got nighttime activities and you've got other things, but you need to work smarter, not harder at this point. You've got to look at how you can delegate some of your tasks to other people in your building. I'm sorry, but nobody should be at work. And again, ADs out there, assistant principals out there, principals out there might not agree with me, but I do not think you should have to be at work 3 nights a week. Even 2 is kind of, 2 maybe might be pushing it, but 3 nights or more a week is just ridiculous. You need to work on your delegation because that just doesn't make sense to me. And I could talk about this all day long, but what I say in the article is you should be shooting for 30 to 45 minutes each day. Consider a 24-hour day, right? We all have 24 hours each day. And for people to say they can't find 30 to 45 minutes, when you consider this is like 3% of your 24-hour day, I'm kind of calling you out on this, right? I feel like if what's important gets done, right? So a lot of people say they're super busy. Oh, I'm so busy. And again, if you've got kids, I get that. You got to take them to different, but if you're serious about getting in shape and being healthy well into your, middle and older years of your life, you've got to prioritize working out. So I talk about every day. So I get into then I get into my actual workout routine, which I'm a big believer in walking. I know it sounds crazy. If you would have told me 10 years ago, you're going to be a big walker, I would be like, no way. Nope. I love running. I love, being on the elliptical. I love stair step machines at the time. But now I'm realizing that walking, and I usually start off each workout with 20 minutes of walking. Sometimes I go 30 if I've got time, but for the sake of the article, I put down 20 minutes. I love walking because I can just kind of get in the zone, get my body warmed up for my lift, which is the last 20 minutes of my workout. And when I say get in the zone, I mean get in the mental zone where I'm feeling good about myself and I'm thinking positive things. One of the worst things that people do when they're on a lift, when they're walking or they're on any piece of cardio equipment is they're constantly looking at social media. Guys and girls, stop looking at social media while you're working out because this time should be about you. It should be focused on your day, your priorities, the things you feel good about. It should not be focused on other people. When you're on social media, you're always seeing what others are doing. And it's always, at least if you're like me, you're like most people, you're like, man, look at how much success these people are having. Look at what they're doing. Look at what great shape they're in. Look how beautiful they are. Look at their family. Look at everything there. Look at the trip. You cannot look at most people cannot look at all these other things that people are doing on social media, all these models and, and feel good about themselves. You just can't. So stop scrolling through social media. Instead, one of the things I love to do, I've been big on recently, is going on YouTube and I look for YouTube clips of things that motivate me. Specifically, I love live music. I love going to concerts. I was just at a concert last night. Shout out to Eric Church, who just rocked it in Des Moines last night. I love going to live music and I love watching live music videos and live music of concerts that are on YouTube or music videos of songs I like on YouTube. that to me, once I hear a song that I like, it just gets me pumped up. And I'm watching the video, I'm watching the concert, I'm acting like I'm there. I'm like, man, I wish I could go to that concert someday. I wish, or I'm thinking back to a concert I was at. And I'm like, oh man, that was so cool. Those videos pump me up way more than any social media browsing will do. Another thing I do sometimes, especially on the weekends, is I will bring a book and I will read a book on the treadmill. If there's a book I'm like super into, I love being able to go on the treadmill, get the book out, read. I take my notes. I always have a pen with me and I mark my notes. I've talked about that before, how I do my notes and how I translate my notes into my to my Google Docs, and then my Google Docs will eventually go to my books, that sort of thing. But I love reading because I can count, I'm looking at productivity. It's not only a workout, I'm also reading. That's like a 2-for-1, right? I'm actually getting, while it's a 20-minute walk, I'm really getting 40 minutes of productivity in because I'm walking and reading. I'm not a big Kindle person, so I don't have a Kindle. Some people who have a Kindle find it probably much easier than me, but I love reading. So there's two things that I would encourage you to do while you're walking. Again, I love walking. It's easier on my body. It makes me feel better physically and also mentally, because sometimes when I was running really hard, and I used to be a pretty big runner, but I'd always I just didn't enjoy running maybe like some people do. I was always worried about my time and was I getting faster? And I'm just kind of over that right now at this point in my life. I just want to enjoy my workout, and that's what allows me to keep coming back. So in terms of, okay, so once the walk is done, then I'm going to go 20 minutes and lift. And the lifts that I do, it's kind of like a boot camp style class. And some of you have taken a boot camp style class. I haven't really done the CrossFit stuff. I think maybe there's some similarities there. But it's kind of like my workout is constantly supersetting different lifts. And the lifts I'm doing are full body lifts, which are squats, deadlifts, bench press, power clean and press, and then mixing in some body weight exercises like push-ups and chin-ups. 90% of my lifts, of the lifts that I do when I work out, are basically around those six exercises: squats, deadlifts, bench press, power clean and press, push-ups, chin-ups. And if you don't know what those are, you probably need to back up and learn some basics. But I feel like I have been doing much more of those full body lifts with supersetting a lot of those ideas, as opposed to exercises which are just focused on one muscle group. Because I don't have all the time in the world. I can't spend 2 or 3 hours in the gym. I got other things to do. So if you have all the time in the world, yeah, it might be good to do, focus on biceps, and then focus on triceps, and then focus on calves, and then focus on shoulders, and then focus on back. I just don't have the time to do that. And I don't think many of you do either. So I would suggest focusing on full body lifts. Now, here's some questions you might have is, how many reps do you go for? And I explained this in the article. There's this theory by Michael Matthews, who wrote Bigger, Leaner, Stronger. And he talks about shooting for 6 reps each set. So if you can hit more than 6 reps, you probably need to go up in weight. If you're right at 6 reps, you're probably good. And if you can only hit 2 or 3 set reps, then you probably need to lower your rate. You're always shooting for 6 reps of each exercise is kind of his theory. And I love that theory. The next question is, how do you choose your lifts? Again, I kind of explain, I give you a workout here to follow, but I don't really have a set rotation. Like Monday, I'm doing this, and Tuesday, I'm doing this. Really? I kind of go with the flow each day. I kind of see what body groups feel good. I don't ever repeat the exact same lifts 2 days in a row, because I feel like your body needs rest. But when once I'm done walking, I'll just kind of like, okay, what feels good today? Also, I work out in a pretty small gym, and there's not a whole lot of there's not much space. So if something is being taken, like the bench is being taken, I probably won't do bench press that day. Or if the squat rack is being taken, I won't do squats that day. I'll find something else to do. So I kind of just go with the flow with how my body feels. And I also, We'll just kind of see what's available in my gym. And then I'll come back to those 6 core lifts with some variations. And I explain that in the article, and just try to do full body lifts, these supersets with about 20 to 30%. I'm sorry, 20 to 30 seconds of rest between each exercise. Notice how I didn't say between sets, because I'm supersetting. Between each exercise, I'm taking about 20 to 30 seconds of rest between each exercise. 2 more things I wrote about were, what about ab exercises? You don't talk about ab exercises, but I want, people want their 6-pack to show. There's, in my mind, you see a lot of people doing all these crunches and sit-ups. Like, in my mind, that the key to great abs is not doing ab exercises. Instead, it's about always engaging your core throughout everything you do during the day. Engaging your core means squeezing all the muscles into a tightened position all the time throughout the day, but especially when you're working out. As long as you squeeze the core, which is the front and the back of your stomach and your back, as long as you're squeezing those in tightened position during your lifts, your abs are gonna work hard. Okay, they're gonna start really getting strong. And quite honestly, we all have abs. We all have abs. You just got to get to a low enough fat percentage for them to show, which for guys is probably under 12%. Women, it's under 18%. And those are numbers that I've kind of seen in my research. But you need to be at least under those percentages for your abs to show. So if you're way above those percentages and you keep doing all these sit-ups, like, it's just not going to work. You're just not going to get the results that you want. The same thing about biceps. A lot of people will just do all these curls in front of the mirror, thinking that's going to build up their biceps. And it's not a bad idea. But again, we don't have all the time in the world just to sit there and do biceps. I would rather do full body workouts. And when you're doing the deadlifts, when you're doing the push-ups, when you're doing the bench press, when you're doing the chin-ups, your arms are going to start really getting defined, both your biceps and your triceps. So people ask me, like, hey, you must do a lot of curls. Like, quite honestly, I don't do a lot of curls, but I feel like the full body workouts that you do, those will really help your arms get defined and get and really look good. So again, don't worry about the small body groups. Don't worry about the abs. Don't worry about when I say don't do specific. They're just one small body group. Do these full body exercises. Okay. So then I go into, like, I'm not going to explain all the details of the workout plan I lay out. Again, that's in the blog article. However, I will tell you this. Every workout is a 20-minute walk, 20-minute lift, almost every day. So Monday's a 20-minute walk, 20-minute lift. Tuesday, same thing, 20-minute walk, 20-minute lift. Wednesday, I feel like I need a little bit of a break from the lifting. So I will do a 20-minute walk, and then I'll do a 15-minute row. And the row will be 1 minute easy, 1 minute hard. 1 minute easy, 1 minute hard for 15 minutes. I usually shoot for about 3,000 meters. That's my goal. But it's that alternating back and forth. And again, there's methods behind the madness, but I've read enough that says that type of working out is great for burning fat. Thursday, we're back to a lift, which is a 20-minute walk, 20-minute lift. Friday is actually a 20-minute walk and a 20-minute stretch. I feel like by Friday, my back is getting pretty sore, as well as like my hips and my legs. So I just really stretch it out on Fridays. The way I find my work on my stretches is I just YouTube like 15-minute stretch, 20-minute stretch, 30-minute stretch. There's so many videos out there. Just YouTube it and follow what they tell you. Saturday is, again, 20-minute walk, 20-minute lift. And then Sunday, I used to feel like I've got to like work out super hard on Wednesday because I had the cheat night the night before. What I found out is that on Sundays, I really just do like I put 30 to 45 minute walk. Some days I do 60 minutes, but I have found that a nice walk on Sundays, especially when it's nice out, is awesome. But again, shoot for 30 to 45 minutes on those Sundays. And again, my feeling was, well, shoot, I'm going to gain weight for my cheat meal. What I found is if you follow all the things that I've laid out for you, the 7 days of working out and the diet plan, come Wednesday, whatever weight you gained on Sunday morning from your cheat meal, it'll be gone. It'll be gone. You'll be back to your weight. And actually you're going to start creeping lower and lower by the time you hit Saturday. So again, that Sunday walk is something that I didn't believe in until this year. And I've kind of given it a shot, and it's pretty crazy. It gives my body a chance to rest. I'm still doing something. I'm still working off that cheat meal, but I'm also getting back on the healthy track for the rest of the week. So gosh, guys, I mean, I covered a lot of ideas there. I would really encourage you to check out the blog article. And again, what I explained, I'm going to probably change the ending to my blog because this is going to go in my next book, this article, this concept, but I'm probably going to change the ending to talk about like what I just explained is not easy. Most people are not going to put the time and the effort in to work out regularly and to eat healthy. But if you want to have the results that very few people have, you've got to be willing to put in the work. So a lot of people will say, they'll complain, oh, I wish I had a better body. I wish I was in better shape. I wish I had more energy, but they don't do anything about it. And it really it frustrates me. Like you got to do it. You got to commit to it. And so I laid out a game plan that works for me. I'm not saying this would work for everybody else. We all have different responsibilities. We all have different body types, but I am a huge believer in what I laid out in this article. So again, thank you so much for listening. Check out that article called Get Fit at Any Age. And again, this is episode number 104. This is the Group Project Podcast. I appreciate you listening, and we'll be back with more great guests here in the near future. Have a great night.